a week we've had. It's been a shorter work week for us because this weekend is our 2-year wedding anniversary.
But that meant that we had to cram in our 7-day work week into about 3.5 days.
In this week's video, we're going to share all of our plans for the shower and answer some of the questions we've gotten about our bathroom.
So this is one of those jobs that's making me nervous, as you can imagine. I waited until Mella had to go run to errands. Hopefully I could just get it cut and finished, and she wouldn't have to be worrying about it while I worked.
Am I heavy enough to push it down?
Well,
don't answer that. Machines, you know those games?
Dance Revolution?
There you go. This is how I shower.
And because our wedding anniversary is coming up, I'll tell you a little story about how we met, celebrate our anniversary with you guys a little bit, but we'll save that till the end of the video for those who are interested to hear that story.
We're Mella and Don.
And we uprooted our lives and left Los Angeles
with the dream of converting an MCI D3 40-foot bus into a tiny home on wheels. We're sharing our progress
one bite at a time.
What?
How to eat an elephant one bite at a time.
But before we catch you up on the work that we have done this week, we thought it was time that we addressed the elephant in the bathroom.
If you've been watching for a while, you probably remember that last summer we had a feeding trough that we wanted to use as our bathtub.
And obviously we have decided to ditch the bathtub.
And although we like the idea of a bathtub takes a lot of water, so that's one thing that maybe we wouldn't really be using it a lot if we're doing boondocking and not hooked up to a water source.
The truth of it is, we bumped it on the corners and it chipped so easily. So we realized that the lining wasn't going to last long. We could have figured out a different way of lining it, but when we actually got into our bathroom space and started trying to figure out the logistics of plumbing and everything that's involved in the bathroom, it just became more difficult. While it was so sad to not ever have a bathtub in our bus, we were so excited to find FLEXSTONE.
FLEXSTONE makes all kinds of shower, wall, and base kits. When we found out that it was a lightweight and should be an easy to install option, we're really excited. FLEXSTONE's parent company, the company that actually makes all of the pieces and parts, works with high-end RV manufacturers for luxury RVs.
So we knew it was going to work in our bus, but we're really excited about the look of it.
Hey, you ready for the reveal?
Nice. It looks luxurious and like it is real marble. And FLEXSTONE sends you everything you need.
Comes with panels and trim.
All the adhesives, silicone, and the CF tape for the corners.
Actually able to add on to your shower with little upgrades. And ones we've chosen to go with would be a corner shelf. And then we also got a little step. It's called a corner shaving shelf. And that'll be a place for Mella to put her foot up while she shaves her legs.
But before we could install our shower into our bus, we had to finish our cabinet for the bathroom because it is one of the shower walls too.
So for our cabinets, I've got some drawer slides. I went ahead and bought them in bulk. I think I bought 8 pairs. They're considerably less expensive if you buy them in bulk. So after watching about 30 different videos on how to install slides, the method I'm choosing to go with is to use a piece of wood as a guide. You just simply set your wood down, put your slide on top. That way you know when you go from one side to the other, they're exactly in the same space from the bottom of the inside of the cabinet to where the slides are. Usually the first one you build of anything is a learning curve, and that's exactly what's going on here.
It's such a tight space that we didn't want any handles that we could bump and scratch ourselves on, so we've got leather strap handles.
When we're done with this, we're not exactly sure how we're going to paint it to match the bathroom and match the toilet, but we might do a little shabby chic on the corners or something. I don't know. You got any ideas? I'm sure you do. Let us know below. A lot of mornings I start off with lofty goals. After the work I did on this cabinet, I'm hesitant to say that we're gonna get this thing done and the wall done today, but really want to, because just can't spend too much more time on it. Got so many other things to do to get the bathroom going. You probably can't tell on the video, but it took a lot of hours, some cursing, until I was able to get it to work with the slides. And moving forward, I'm feeling like I don't want to get into being a cabinet maker.
I think they turned out great. They open and close, and what is so awesome is they're so much bigger than I thought they would be. We just used up all the space that we had between our shower and our toilet, and it's huge. We're gonna have plenty storage in our bathroom, which makes me really happy.
We finally got our shower cabinet, which act as part of our shower wall, together and built. And I'll tell you what, I don't want to build any more cabinets. It's not my forte, it's not my strength. Every time I think I've got some kind of tool or mechanism to make it work, I keep getting stumped. But since we've got this completed, it's now time to put some pocket holes in it so we can move it into the bus, fasten it into the wall, and then start building the top part of the cabinet for our cabinet slash shower wall. We're trying to get the pecs through our guide pipes that we put in the wall, and it's really snug. I don't know if the pecs is just curved for so long in the bundle. Got it about 70% of the way there, but Dad suggested we try some petroleum jelly on it and see if that helps it move through. Boy, it seems like we can get it started, but you're right. I think there's curvatures, so we're fighting. Yeah. Almost there. There we go. See how he pushes kosherly. I'm going to ask you to give it a good push in just a second. One that counts. You ready?
Yeah.
Go. Perfect.
Got it?
Yep. Now that we got the half a shelf here, a couple things need to happen before we can waterproof and build the wall up. One thing I know we need to do is cut out the luxury vinyl planking where the base of our shower is going to sit. And this way we'll be able to actually adhere the base of the shower directly to our subfloor. So this is one of those jobs that's making me nervous, as you can imagine. I don't want to screw up the floor. I waited until Mello had to go run errands so that hopefully I could just get it cut and finished and clean, and she wouldn't have to be worrying about it while I worked. I'm gonna say that went way smoother than I expected. Got the bathroom shelving unit together. It's the bottom part of the half wall. I just need to screw the top part of the half wall together. I've got the half wall near completion. Unfortunately, I need a couple 2x4s. My dad's out and about, he's gonna grab those for me. So the next thing I'm gonna do is put some holes in the floor. Of course, before I put big holes in the floor, I'm just gonna put a pilot hole, come around to the side where it's supposed to come out, and make sure that it's coming out where I'm assuming it is. I am so happy. That's exactly where I thought it would be. Maybe things are turning around. Things are gonna work out for me. I can feel it.
Our shower head is sort of like a rain shower head. So in order to make sure we could be underneath that rain shower, we're putting our shower head at the highest point in the bus, which is pretty much in the center area. And we also put in that skylight, which gives us a little bit of extra room. So in order to position our shower head correctly to fit underneath that skylight, we kind of push the wall back. So it creates like a shelf area in the shower, and then the shower head and valve is set a little further back. But it did mean a little more complicated for building, and that's been the biggest challenge with this wall.
Okay, you ready? Okay, I'm gonna do the red one. Got it? All right.
Don's got all the holes for all the hoses and pipes going through to the ground. Before we make the drain hole and put our shower pan in, we thought we'd just do a little test, pour some water down the urine hose and make sure that it all works.
Looking good so far. Stopped completely.
I can't hear you, what'd you say? I stopped. You want me to keep going?
Yeah, put about a quarter of that amount in. Just want to double check, make sure I didn't drill a hole in this pipe. That would be very unsettling to always be peeing in our wall. You see any wet?
No, I don't.
Give it a good amount. Yep.
Okay. Now before we could order our shower base, we had to be really sure that our drain hole was gonna come out in the right place, that we could run plumbing underneath the floor.
As we've told you with FLEXSTONE, partnering with them to make our shower, they do make bases for showers for RVs. Because they make them, they can actually fabricate them. They've offered to fabricate one with our sizes and dimensions, and we got to pick where the shower drain hole is. So now I need to figure that out. All right. The good news from all this is because we did plan ahead with our layout for our bus and where we wanted our shower, that there is a place for our drain to come down, elbow over, and shoot right back to where we want the black tank. Very happy that the base fits almost perfectly. Once we put a little tiny bit of caulk right at the front edge, it should be good, don't you think?
Yeah, it's gonna be great.
If there's one thing I don't like at this point in the build, it's when we have to put a hole in the roof or the floor. I'm always a little nervous when I put little holes in, which I just did, but putting a big hole in, I've got the proportional amount of anxiety of putting a hole in on a much bigger scale. come down here, I can see exactly where red hole is going to be. Let's see how we did. Looks good. That's the hole. We're finally at the point where we can install our FLEXSTONE shower base. To install it according to the manufacturer's specifications, we wanted to go ahead and glue it down to the plywood floor. So we've got some construction adhesive that came with all of our FLEXSTONE pieces and parts, and a shower drain that we can use to put in place. So we'll just add a little silicone to get this sealed in place. Bad news is you guys are going to have to wait 24 hours before you can actually take a shower.
Well, then you're just going to have to put up with our stink after working in the sweaty bus.
Try to just push it to the wall first, okay? And then slowly bring it down.
Am I heavy enough to push it down?
Well,
Don't answer that.
Can you feel it sinking? That's all I'm going to ask you.
I think it's just to make sure you push the adhesive in.
Yes, you want to splatter it out and get, yeah, surface, good surface. It sounds like.
It's like dancing machines, you know, those games.
Dance Revolution.
There you go. Alright, I think I need to get this side.
Yeah, let's do this over. There we go. Do a little dance there.
This is how I shower.
See down below the bus. Next we're going to put in some shims around the base so that our base has a nice flat surface on the edges against the studs and the walls where it's going to be screwed into. And now we're going to use a multi-tool and cut off the shims. Oh, working on the floor is great for the back. Mistakes were made. You're supposed to do your pilot hole and then put a little silicone in there before you put your screw in. We forgot that step, so we're going to pull the screws out, put silicone in the hole, and then put the screws back in. So that's probably answered all the questions about the shower and why we're not using the tub.
We try to answer as many questions. We always see them in the comments, but we don't always have time to answer them because often the same questions asked multiple times. So we thought we'll do a Q&A video for you guys. So if you have any questions for us, put them in the comments of this video and we will try to answer as many of them as we can in an upcoming video. Alright, we're getting close to putting that shower pan in. So I'm gonna start prepping the cabinets and the back of the wall, filling in holes, sanding, to be ready to start finishing up our shower walls. Now the exterior of these cabinets is just going to be all white. We might make a shabby chic face to go on the front of the cabinets at some point, but it doesn't seem necessary now. The inside of the cabinets, I'm just going to hit with some polyuracil, this non-toxic water-resistant sealant that we've been using, just because it's going to be in the bathroom want to protect the wood on the inside. I've seen so many videos of people lately saying, don't paint the inside of your cabinets white, they're gonna get all scuffed up. So I was going to, and then I thought, no, let's just seal it up. The outsides of the cabinets are all made of nice birch wood and it's all matching, looking the same. The inside's all scrap wood, so it's all kinds of different pieces of plywood. It's a little bit of a hodgepodge, but it's the inside of the cabinet and I don't think it's really gonna matter that much.
You know where your screws are and pipes and all that?
I'm just gonna see if it fits first.
Oh, okay.
And then we'll make marks on it. Before we get too excited, let's mark off where not to screw in the hoses, drill heads are, you know.
For our backing boards, we used a lure board. It's a cement board, and we used some Teflon coated backer board screws. This is my first time working with cement board. I sat down, I did all the math. I was really nervous about trying to find a lightweight cement board or backing board, and it turns out that our cement board square footage should only add about 80 pounds to the entire bus, so it's really not that big of a deal to begin with. Got started on the cement wall last night, last thing we did, so we're gonna jump back into that. Cutting cement board is a messy process. It's literally concrete board, so as you're cutting it, it's just billowing smoke, and all of that smoke looking stuff is cement. So we've had to wear masks to protect our face so we're not breathing it in. You don't want a bunch of concrete in your lungs or your nose. Have to protect your eyes so you're not getting concrete in your eyes.
Close.
We got the tricky area finally. We're at the curving point, so to get the cement board to curve up into meet the ceiling, because we want to have that shower go all the way up to the ceiling for the waterproofing. I don't know if you remember, but when we built that wall that we're putting it up, we used a piece of Luan and cut it exactly to the curve. So I'm just gonna grab that Luan, which we saved, and then we will use it as our guide.
Look at this guy. Look at this guy.
My dad was really helpful through this whole process. He had done backing boards in the bathrooms in their home. Really helpful to have another set of hands and somebody who has some experience and is excited to help out on the project.
You ready?
Yep. Great. This has been one of the hardest projects, and I think it's because I'm doing 3 or 4 things at once. Not only am I building the framework for the shower, which is the first time I've ever done framework for a shower, but we're also cutting up the cement board, which is probably the easiest going part of this process. But at the same time, I'm trying to wrap my head around the plumbing and planning ahead, so I've got everything ready. We're probably going to have a friend help us put the plumbing together, because I don't know if I'm ready to take on learning how to be a plumber on top of all of this. So we did promise that we were going to tell you the story about how we met.
Do we have to.
It might be a little embarrassing for one of us.
Alright, so we first met on the dating site OkCupid. It was not where I expected to meet my future husband. But Don approached me on OkCupid, we chatted over the app a little bit, and then we decided to have a phone call and see if we still like chatting over the phone. And we did, we chatted for quite a while and decided, okay, let's go on a date. So we set a place at a restaurant. Don showed up at the restaurant. I did not. I did go, so don't think I'm a terrible person here. I did go, and I basically parked outside and was having a little bit of a meltdown. I was in a bad place at that moment in time, and I had been dating, but it was just like the dating was just kind of like, it didn't matter. It was just like I knew I had been choosing the wrong man, and I just needed to try dating different types of men. So I didn't really care about the other dates, but I really liked Don. Like I could tell he was somebody I should be dating. And I knew that I wasn't in a good place, and I was like, I can't go in there like this and meet this guy. So I texted him and said, I'm so sorry, but I'm not coming into the date. I thought he was just gonna not respond, but he responded. He was kind and nice to me, and we actually chatted over text a little bit about, why I didn't show up, and he was nice about it. And he basically said, well, go do what you gotta do, and who knows, maybe in 3 months or something, when you're, however long it takes, you can make it up to me and ask me out on a date. So I stopped dating, and I did my thing, took care of myself, and I didn't think about Don for a long time. And then I saw something on Facebook. I saw one of my friends posting on Don's brother's Facebook wall. Now Don's brother has a pretty unique name. It's T-Bob. I don't know how many T-Bobs were out there, so I was like, that's gotta be Don's brother. And I clicked on it, and sure enough, it was. And I saw that as a sign to reach out to him. It was time to start talking again.
Yeah, and then so she started messaging me, and we kind of picked up, and I think we just chatted online for a couple weeks or more.
Yeah.
And then one day she asked me if I wanted to meet her at the beach, and she told me which beach. We were living in Los Angeles, California, and it was my favorite beach, and it was her favorite beach, and there's hardly anybody there. It's nice and quiet. And I was excited to go, but I was a little nervous that I would show up and she would text me and say she wasn't going to meet me there. So she said she promised she wouldn't stand me up. And so
I didn't.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yep.
And we had a great time.
Yeah.
Went out to eat. And the rest is history, as they say, right?
Yeah. And that's the story of how we met. Or how we almost didn't meet. Thank you guys so much for all the comments, the thumbs up, and supporting us as we go on this journey here.
And don't forget, we are going to be doing a Q&A, so if you have any questions for us, put them in the comments below, and we'll try to answer as many as we can.
We want to say a big thank you to FLEXSTONE for partnering with us to put our dream shower together. We can't wait to share all those details with you guys next week.
And if you're interested in FLEXSTONE, we will put their website down below in the description. It is also available at Menards, in-store and online only at Home Depot, Lowe's, and Wayfair.
We'll see you guys next time. And I wore the same shorts for 2 days in a row working on concrete. I'm scared to throw them in the dishwasher. I'm scared to throw them in
the dishwasher.
I'm scared to throw them in the washing machine. I'm afraid that they'll just turn into like a concrete cement mixer and the washing machine will just completely clog up.